Welcome to my YouTube channel Black. I'm Iron, and today I will be showing you the third of a series, the third day of Digitober. This will be the third video to a 31 video series, each for every day of October that I'll be posting soon. And yes, Digital Inktober. I know it's weird, but bear with me. It's a little challenge I thought of, only using white and black to do digital drawings. I can never say digital, damn it. So, whatever. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. The third word from an old Inktober list I got on the internet is reptile. So now while you enjoy a quick speed paint, I'll be telling you a horror story based on the word reptile. The first one might not be much of a horror story, but since I only found 2 short stories on this word, then I had to include this one. It's not much of a horror one, but I hope you guys like it. It's by Baby Rabies. I'll include the link in the description if you guys want to check it out. It's a horror story about reptiles and toilets. Last night, right before bed, I peed on a gecko. A gecko in my toilet. A gecko I only discovered after I stood up to flush because, of course, I didn't pee on it on purpose. So many strange golden shower jokes right now. And let me tell you, it was an odd moment when I stood over that toilet, reaching for the handle and trying to register what that thing was in the water. Even odder when I figured it out. Oh sh! A lizard, a reptile, 4 inches from my ass. What if it tried to crawl out, or up, or into something? And then there's a spam of question marks. That's what I was thinking, all while screaming the most flipped out girly version of, I'm not gonna do that. No, I don't want to do this. That's what I was thinking, all while screaming the most flipped out girly version of, ew. I don't know how to do this. What the? Okay, never mind. You know what? Let's just cut that part up. Okay. That's what I was thinking, all while screaming the most flipped out girly version of EU. And you know what, friends? You cannot see a gecko in the toilet right after you just peed. A gecko that did not appear to be there before you peed. And not suddenly feel a sensation in your... Jesus Christ, okay, this is rated R. Next paragraph! Okay, so, yes, I made my husband flush it. I honestly did not give a second thought as to whether he was dead or alive. I mean, the view alone probably gave him a tiny gecko heart attack. But if that didn't seal the deal, I just covered him in urine. I'm sort of feeling remorseful for that day, a little. But mostly I'm just totally wigged out and trying to burn the sensation from my mind of what it must feel like to pee out a gecko. And yes, rational me knows that I didn't actually pee the gecko out, or give birth to it, in a toilet. Like, I didn't know I was pregnant with a gecko. Irrational me just won't shut up sometimes. Irrational me also makes rational me lift up the seat of the toilet, slam it back down, and then flush before sitting down to pee. You know, just that one time that I had to pee because I'd been holding it all day out of fear. And that's story number 1. The second story is called Alligators. It's from a really famous book, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I remember that I used to read them when I was a little kid, in elementary school most likely. And yeah, so here we go. There was a young woman who married a man from the south. They lived they lived together in a small cabin by the river. The pair got along pretty well, and they had two little boys. The woman only had one problem. Her husband was always going out at night. Sometimes he would be gone for hours, and sometimes he would stay out all night. He would always go swimming in the river, and the darker it was, the better he liked it, because he could see at night just like an owl. As soon as the boys were big enough to walk, he took them swimming with him. They would stay in the river all night long, and the woman had to sleep at home by herself. After a while, the woman started acting very strange. She told the neighbors that her husband was turning into an alligator, and he was trying to turn their little boys into alligators too. Something has to be done about it, she said. The neighbors thought the woman was losing her mind. They told her it was normal for boys to go swimming with their father, and everybody knew there weren't any alligators in that part of the country. Finally, one Sunday morning, the woman came running down. Finally, one Sunday morning, the woman came running into town. Her clothes were soaking wet, and she told the preacher that a big alligator and two little alligators had pulled her into the river. She said they were trying to make her live in the river and forcing her to eat raw fish. She claimed it was her husband and her two little boys, and they were trying to turn her into an alligator too. But she broke loose and managed to crawl out onto the bank. It all sounded so crazy that the townspeople took the woman to the doctor. They were afraid she might hurt herself in some way. They could hear her hollering all over town until the doctor gave her an injection to knock her out. The sheriff went out to the cabin by the river, but there was nobody there. About a week after that, the doctor sent the woman to a mental institution, and she never came back. Her husband and the two little boys never showed up again either, and to this day, nobody knows what became of them. For years after that, hunters and fishermen would see alligators in the roof. For years after that, hunters and fishermen would see alligators in the river on moonlit nights. They said there was always one big alligator and two little ones, but nobody believed them. Everybody knows there aren't any alligators in this part of the country. The end. We still have some time, so maybe another story? So, since we have a little bit more time, in the next few minutes, I'll be reading to you survival stories or just plain stories of people that have been attacked by alligators. So yeah, they're not really horror stories, but I think they fit the bill. So the first one is Lucky to Be Alive. A prayer and a pounding on an alligator's head may have saved Rachel Lilienthal, 37, from being eaten by a Jesus Christ. A prayer and a pounding on an alligator's head may have saved Rachel Lilienthal, 37, from being eaten by a vicious gator on Florida's Wikiva River in 2015. After the gator initially attacked, the lecturer prayed. Then a kayaker pounded his paddle on its head, which prompted the animal to take off with Lilienthal's arm. The Orlando Sentinel reported, "This story's ending," Lilienthal later said, "could have been much worse." The next story is called Deadly Swim. On October 19, 2015, James Oakers was enjoying a swim with two friends when he disappeared at around 9 a.m. NBC News reported at the time. The 62-year-old was found dead in Blue Springs State Park by afternoon with a 12-foot alligator nearby, the Daytona Beach News Journal said. The alligator The alligator was caught and euthanized that afternoon. The next story is called Doggone Lucky. David Quarterman would do anything to keep his dog safe, even fight off a 9-foot-long alligator. On September 21, 2015, Quarterman, a 5'5" man, weighing 150 pounds, sprang into action near Savannah, Georgia, and punched an alligator in the eye after the animal grabbed Sheba, his 70-pound Labrador retriever. When that gator raised up out of the water with my dog in his mouth, he looked like something out of a Hollywood horror movie, the 58-year-old building contractor told People. My dogs are like my children, and I'd do anything to protect them. Same. And here's another story. Living Nightmare. Despite a sign warning people to stay out of the water because of alligators, a 28-year-old man named Tommy Woodward was attacked and killed by one during a late-night swim at a southeast Texas marina in July of 2015. The 11-foot alligator was later illegally shot dead, and Woodward's body parts were found inside. And I think that's a good little morbid story to end this drawing on. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys look forward to the next one too. And if you liked it, please subscribe. Leave a comment, leave a like, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll get announced on That way you'll get announced That way they'll be announced every time I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out. See you later. Bye.